quiet of night, I whispered my plea, holding her close, hoping for her decree.
The cloth is folded between two careful hands. The cotton whispers as it slips against the table. A single flute phrase hangs, thin and steady, like a breath. I sit on a low stool under a patched tarpaulin porch, and I say, quietly in Khmer, "Here we sew the dress for the last journey."
Welcome to Ancient Echoes. I'm Samnong Bradley, your guide to Cambodia's small, vital rituals. Ancient stones, modern stories, warm welcomes. Today, we walk into homes and porches where neighbors stitch grief into practice. Over the next 35 minutes, meet the seamstresses, the laments players, the coffin maker racing the deadline, and the kitchen teams who feed an arrival of sorrow and solidarity. This is a sound-forward, respectful portrait, close to the work, careful with the prayers.
Before we go in, a quick context corner. In Khmer culture, white and plain textiles are common in mourning, but practices vary by region and family. Roles are shared. Immediate kin lead rites, neighbors offer practical help, and specialist makers, tailors, musicians, carpenters, are called on with both skill and discretion. Ethnographically, what matters is consent. Families decide what stays private, and some chants or ritual words are considered off-limits to outsiders or recording. We'll note sources and further reading in the show notes.
When I met Mrs. Van, the seamstress, her hands were already measured by years of cutting, folding, and hemming for departures. She invited me to sit and watch, not to photograph. She told me in a low voice that was part instruction, part memory, about apprenticeship, how she learned from her aunt at 12, how the first shroud she cut made her want to step back, and how over decades she came to understand that sewing here is both craft and service.
She showed me the cloth they use, plain, sturdy cotton, cut to sizes for family preference. She explained pricing in a practical tone. "This is not charity work," she said. "It is livelihood and care braided together." She also made boundaries clear. Certain ceremonial garments are consecrated, touched only by close kin or the temple, and she will not alter them without a family's explicit permission. The dignity in that boundary felt like part of the care itself.
She let me feel the pull of the needle and told a small, simple story. Once, a neighbor tried to give the shroud away as a keepsake. The family refused. "This is for the journey," she said, "not for trinkets." The line landed as a lesson. Grief has limits that protect the dead and the living. Across the compound, the wake musicians gathered. They are often a small ensemble, drum, flute, gong, and a singer, called at specific moments. A low lament at dusk, a more uplifting tune for the late-night offerings. They describe to me how repertoire is negotiated. Slow laments when family asks for quiet mourning. Livelier, communal pieces when neighbors come to share remembrance. Some chants are sacred and never recorded. They asked that I respect those limits.
One of the players, a flute maker and performer, showed me a small motif they play only outside the temple, an opening breath that signals time to gather. He played it for me, but then covered his mouth and said certain sacred melodies are given only to ordained custodians. It was a careful teaching. Music holds place and power in these rituals, and not everything is for ears beyond the family or temple.
We asked about payment. Do families always pay? The answer was honest. Sometimes yes, sometimes neighbors chip in. Some players are paid modest fees, others consider it duty. That mix, commerce and reciprocity, sustains the practice. Now listen with me for a moment. Imagine the porch, the cloth scrape, a kettle whispering on the stove, footsteps across packed earth, a single low flute motif weaving through the hush. Breathe.
Let the place settle in your mind.
I spent a morning with Heng, the carpenter. He works under impossible timetables sometimes. The family wants a respectful box by evening. He transforms planks to containers of memory with careful nails and a steady hand. He told me, speed must never become disrespect. Even when a coffin is made quickly, corners are sanded, names are painted with care, and a final cloth is tucked under the lid like a benediction.
Nearby, the kitchen coordinator, a woman named Dara, explained feeding logistics like a conductor. She maps who will bring rice, who will wash the plates, which neighbors can cook for the large noon meal. Kitchens are where grief is metabolized into action. Hot soup for the weeping, sticky rice for those who have traveled long, careful notes about allergies or family taboos. She laughed softly when she said, "We feed people so they can be present." That line, such a small, brilliant thing. Nourishment as permission to grieve together.
Practical takeaway. If you are a visitor wishing to offer support, first ask a trusted contact to check with the family. If you are invited, follow their lead. Dress modestly, avoid intrusive photos, and refrain from recording prayers unless given explicit permission. Monetary gifts are often accepted, but consider giving through a trusted neighbor or coordinator so the family's needs are respected.
If you want to help from afar, consider supporting local makers directly. Hire seamstresses for community workshops, contribute to music ensembles that preserve repertoire, or donate to locally run funds that help with funeral costs. And if you record anything, ask, explain how the audio will be used, and be ready to remove it if a family asks. Consent is not a one-time yes. It's an ongoing conversation. A few simple etiquette points. In short, ask before attending or photographing. If offered food, accept with both hands and a quiet thanks. Avoid romanticizing poverty or hardship when you tell these stories, and credit the people who let you into their lives, not simply the place. Our show notes list vetted local contacts and resources for mediated introductions if you wish to offer practical help. I left that porch with my pockets full of small lessons. How a seamstress protects the sacred by saying no, how musicians guard chants and give communal rhythm instead, how a carpenter's haste still folds into care, how a kitchen's steam softens the hardest hours. There is a resilience in these ordinary tasks, dignity woven into every stitch, every measure, every ladle. Thank you to the families and makers who welcomed us, to the musicians who explained their boundaries, and to the coordinators who organized meals and kept us fed and human. We paid participants fairly, offered anonymization options, and followed consent practices. We include resources and credits in the show notes for anyone who wants to learn more or support ethically. If this episode stayed with you, please subscribe to Ancient Echoes for more sound-led walks through Khmer life. Read the full transcript and resource list on our website. There you'll find contact points for mediated introductions if you'd like to help local makers in ways that respect family agency. And when you tell someone about this episode, tell them simply, quiet stones, loud stories.
Samnang Bradley. Listen, learn, belong. Until next time, walk the temples with me and carry this small truth. Community care is often made quietly, in the cloth and the kettle and the steady hammer. Quiet stones, loud stories.
Oh, shining diamond, flawless and red, you stand so quiet, soft in the air. I dared not to rush you, feared you'd flee. Your heart too pure to belong to me. turn away, I reach and bind, press my hands, still body and mind. Your brows I trace, your breath I steal, this mark I place is dark and real. From this moment break and fall, hear the spell, obey the call. False love born from sacred lies, second one whispers through closed eyes. Follow me, don't fight, don't run, your soul is caught, my work is done. Empty will, your light undone, under spell, under Sigmund. Crystal beauty, diamond bright, caught between shadow, charm and night. Time won't save you, truth won't last. This vow is carved, the line is cast. My words are smoke, my touch is fire. I bend your heart to dark desire.